Hello and welcome to the Brick Cave Media Podcast. I'm Sharon Skinner, author of Blood from a Rose from Brick Cave Books. The Brick Cave Podcast is brought to you by the BC Book Club, Brick Cave Media's community portal for readers that love Brick Cave books and authors. You can join today and be a part of the Brick Cave story at Brick Cave Media's new website, well, newish, brickcave.media.
And my name is Bruce Davis, author of the soon-to-be-released Profit and Loss from Brick Cave Books. We're here tonight in the Brick Cave studio, located in the Brick Cave office in beautiful downtown Mesa, Arizona.
So, let's talk about your new book.
Which one? This has been a very productive writing spring for me. As you know, I had some health issues, was sort of confined to home, and I wrote. So I finished, well, there's Profit and Loss, but Profit and Loss had already been written. It was just a matter of reformatting and, cleaning it up and making it pretty. And I'm looking forward to Brick Cave releasing it because I think it's a good addition to the Profit Logbook series.
I agree.
It's a series of shorts that kind of looks at each character a little bit differently. Rather than being a full-length novel, it's a couple of novelettes and a very short story. But gives you a little background, a little more interesting take on the people. I finally finished Profit Motives. Profit Motives had been hanging around for years because I got partway into it and realized I was starting to tell the same story over again. But I finally found some inspiration and finished the thing, and I'm actually kind of happy with it.
Yeah, I like it.
I especially like the way I ended it up. Now we have some legitimate space pirates.
Well, okay, I don't want to do any spoilers, but yes, there is. I like the ending, and yet I hate the ending, but only because of the switching character. So the loss of a character that I really, really liked. But well, I'm sure he'll be around.
He'll be around, but Deuce had always been looking for something more.
Oh, I know.
And that's why From Series with Love is so important.
Which is one of the reasons why it's such a wonderfully emotionally satisfying ending, right?
Right.
So, I really like it, but...
But you're sad to see him.
I'm going to miss...
You're going to like Kuhne, though.
I already like Kuhne.
You're going to like Kuhne.
I already like Kuhne.
I've got some big plans for Kuhne.
Excellent.
If I ever get back to writing those stories, which we're going to give them a rest for a little while, let the characters stew in my brain for a bit.
Okay.
But then, wait, there's more.
Yeah.
I wrote from scratch Aluminum Magic, which is now done.
Ooh.
And it is very clearly the fourth and final installment in the Magic Law series. But I leave the door open for, yes, we could do some sequels if we just so desire.
Okay.
But as you remember the last book, I left everybody in a bad place.
Yeah, you did. You left us hanging a little bit in that last book, but it made sense it made sense for where you went with the story to do that.
Right. And I think this all kind of hangs together, although there's very definitely a split in the first and second half of the book about where the focus lies. But I try to get a little bit more into the world building and the culture of the people here.
So you really did make the best of your housebound time.
Yes, I did.
That's good.
And I added some more words to tentatively titled Hibernia, the one that I told you about with the conflicted replicant.
Yes.
And
which
so
I'm interested to see. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're moving along with that one.
Good. That's good.
How about you?
Hiccuping along. I've been kind of busy with a lot of other people's work.
Right.
Between client work
because that is
and
your job, after all.
Yeah, between the client work and the Brick Cave editorial stuff, I've been pretty busy. So I'm making progress, but it's slow going. But I'm having.
I want to read Dating and Demons.
I know, but I'm having fun with it now again.
Oh,
Right?
good.
So that's good, And I've introduced a new character, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this character, but I'm going to do something because this character's really interesting. So,
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So it's moving along. I'm at about. I want to say I'm at 48,000 words. So I mean, it's getting there. So.
All right, so 2/3.
Yeah, I would say I'm 2/3 done. The story's about 2/3 of the way in. There's a section that I need to rewrite. But I know what I'm going to do with it now. And one of the reasons I've been letting it sit is that section and just stay there is because I wasn't sure what to do with it, how to rewrite it, but now I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do.
So new for me, both Aluminum Magic and then this current project, I've actually got a pretty good idea of where I'm going. Rather than the usual seat of the pants. Oh, I'm surprised that happened. Why did you do that? Oh, that's why you did that.
Yeah.
Aluminum particularly these are the scenes that we need to do, and the hard part was the transition between the scenes, but the big scenes were all there already, which is unusual for me.
Yeah,
That's just not usually the way I work.
But they kind of have to be when you're writing series, especially when you're finishing off
Right.
a series. You really kind of have to figure out what you're doing.
And how am I going to tie all of this other stuff back into this thing?
Yeah, how am I going to do that? Because when I wrote the Healer's Trilogy, the first two books, kind of wrote myself into a corner, and then I was like, oh yeah, I got to write that third book. How am I going to do that?
Maybe that's why it took so long.
Yeah, that's partly why it took so long. Because I was like, all right, now I got to figure this out. But no, with Dating and Demons, I mean, I know the beginning and I know the ending and I know the character arc. What I haven't, that mushy middle, wasn't sure about. And then I've decided that I didn't like the way that I hit the crisis and the climax in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to just rewrite that. I'm just going to rewrite that differently. But yeah, so I know what I'm doing, I think. Some days. Some days I feel like I know what I'm doing, when I sit down and work on it, and some days I'm just like, I'm just going to write. And those are the fun parts where the additional characters come in, where this character showed up and I was like, alrighty then, I like this. I'm going to run with this.
Yeah.
So you can still have a lot of freedom even if you know where you're headed, which is what I like.
All right. So what have you been reading of late?
I've been reading a lot actually, and I've read a couple of good things. I just read Among Thieves by M.J. Kuhne.
Okay.
Have you read this?
No, but I'm
Okay.
intrigued.
I wasn't sure I was going to like it at first because it's basically a bunch of people who have been thrown together and they're all working for one of the worst criminals in the city. And they all have backstory and they all have their own agendas. And he decides that they're going to go on a job and every single one of them is planning to betray all the rest of them.
Okay.
From the very
now I'm really intrigued.
from the get-go, right? And so once you get into it, it's like, okay, how's this going to play out? And I liked it well enough that I'm ready to read the next book. So, yeah.
Now, is this standalone or is it?
You could read it as, it's the adventure itself is a standalone, but it definitely leaves a lot open for the next book.
Right, I don't mind that.
Yeah, yeah. It's
you
not a
cut the
cliffhanger.
story off
It is
in the middle, and then I've got to wait a year for the next book.
No, well, the next book's
I
already
know,
out.
but
on
I'm
this
just
one.
saying that's.
Yeah, no, it's not cliffhanger. It's room for the next book. It's a satisfying read to see where they all end up.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, there's a bigger problem in order for it to have a bigger arc. Yeah, And then I've been reading a lot of nonfiction.